Today, Precarious plays
Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. So if that gently spinning thing, which totally looks like something that you should just be able to ride on, you know?
Yeah.
If it touches you, it will temporarily disable your ability to grapple onto things. So if it gently slaps you downward, you can't grab onto this one here. So
Yay.
You know what? I'm not going to demonstrate after all. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave and try to put this room behind me. Emotionally. It will obviously be behind me physically. Ooh. You know what I mean?
Yes, actually. Quite frequently. I do.
Let me check to make sure. I think I need a visor that I don't have yet for that doodad. Oh, that's a whole thing? That's a whole deal. That's a whole creature. Cool. But I think I need to go through there. So I'm gonna go this way instead. Bullying. Stop the bullying. I remember this room. It has a really interesting design because of this little like too perfect machined nook, you know?
You know, one of the things that I have been trying to figure out how to get back to.
Yeah.
I used to get much more lost in projects in a happy way.
Yeah.
And okay. How I have gotten to this topic of conversation might seem like a long walk to some people, so let's walk it back for a second. I'm looking at all of these textures, specifically in this area, with the red and the gray, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, wouldn't it be neat to have a little scale model of that? It looks almost like it's made out of cut paper. And then thinking, it would be a lot of work to trim out all of those little pieces of cut paper and assemble them, but then I slowly start to slip into, well, how would I do that? Well, like, suppose I could take screenshots and, you know, then the brain goes doing its thing, goes running down the tracks of how would I do that, right?
Yeah.
Which is fun for me. But I miss, like, being calm enough to really thoroughly indulge in a beautifully useless project like that. You know? It's like, why? Why do we need that? No reason. For fun. Who would we show it to? Nobody. Probably just you, who would be helping me on it anyways, because that's how it works. I tend to wrap you up into my nonsense. And, yeah. So it would be something just for me and you to enjoy putting together, which should be enough, right? Should. But when I think about making enough hours over a course of days to get really lost in a fun project, cutting out things and assembling, it makes it seem less fun. I don't know if you have that problem as much as I do, though. You tend to get lost in some stuff still.
Yeah.
Like to where you forget to eat.
But on the other hand, I often end up feeling really resentful or regretful about those. Whenever that transpires, I don't like it.
Oh. Yeah, I think that I'm trying to protect myself from those feelings so I don't engage.
Yeah.
But I miss it. I even kind of miss feeling terrible afterwards. Like, I kind of
I
miss...
just want to feel.
I just want to feel.
I just want the art feels.
I do. I want the desperate struggle against my own energy supply.
No, it's gross and bad, and I don't recommend it to anybody.
Well, I'm not doing it, clearly. Or, you know what would be really cool? To do, like, a grown-up version where, like, you just get all the things that you need taken care of in advance.
Yeah.
And then just have, like, a vacation. But instead of doing something really stupid like going somewhere to see something or whatever, to gawk at whatever it is, just taking a vacation to like descend into madness in a way that you have prepped for in advance. So like, I don't know. I did a version of this not too long ago and it mostly worked. But I like got really easy food. Really, really easy food. I think that I should, if I do this again, I'm gonna have to keep healthy in mind because eventually the easy food was also not very healthy food and I need a certain fuel type to keep up my brains and body comfortably. But got easy food. I made myself a list of rules of like not allowing engaging with certain grown-up type worries. As in, like, you are not allowed to do chores until this time on this day. So you either work or sleep or eat, and that's it.
I visually flipped the level in a way that makes me a little nauseous. Okay, what am I looking at? This is what I'm looking at. I don't think I'm supposed to go there yet. That's where I just came from. Back in the central room. There are definitely things that I can powerbomb above me. At least two, it looks like. So I guess I'll go try that one first. Wait, is that? Ugh. Are you for real?
I don't know, am I?
I think that's at the far end of where I fought a boss for a spider ball. Ugh. I didn't remember this area being this annoying. Like Torvus felt like a very smooth experience.
Yeah.
This one feels comparatively stop and start. Although I think that might just be because like I know there aren't that many power-ups left and I know what they all are.
Why would that result in this being stop and start?
Well, it's just sort of frustrating to go into like a long hallway and it's like I know what I need here, but I don't have it yet.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of, 3 very specific things that I'm missing. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing.
What?
Do the thing. Come on, man. I don't have. Just do it. Just spin around. Is there a way that I can center the camera behind me when I'm in morphle mode, or do I just have to wait for it to go automatically?
It's doing the thing. Boom, boom, boom. Ah.
I think that part of the problem. Part of why I've been feeling so disillusioned is because, like, I was thinking about it the other day and I recognized, like, remakes and remasters are not new to games, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could easily look at a lot of Nintendo products specifically on the Super NES.
Yeah.
And just say, like, they are... Hold on, let me read that one more time. Target is part of a light energy processing system. Transferred to other part of the fortress. Security lockdown prohibits local access to energy stores. Okay. So that is just a doodad. I don't have to blow that up or anything. You could look at Super Metroid and I think make a pretty compelling case that it's just like Super Metroid is effectively a remake of Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with this one will probably raise some hackles on a lot of people, but I think you could make a reasonable case that A Link to the Past is just another crack at at Zelda. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, I see a lot of people have like a romanticized version of the original Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Where they are like, oh, it was such a mysterious thing and it was an adventure and they didn't hold your hand. And then they'll look at A Link to the Past and then they'll say, but A Link to the Past, they lead you around by the nose and they expect you to do all of this stuff and it's so closed off. And it's like, someone didn't read the manual. Mm-hmm. And the someone was you, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it was different in Japan, but in all of these games where people are like, oh, it's so easy to get lost and it was such an adventure, it's like, no, the stuff that they put in
the box with the game was intended to be consumed along with the game.
Yeah, it's just, they didn't have the memory to put tutorials and junk in the game, so they printed it on paper instead.
And people got excited about being lost because they ignored them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened with a lot of early games. Or that happens when I hear a lot of people talk about early games now. They're like, oh, this is so mysterious. It's like, no, it's... You just don't have the manual.
I can think of very few games that are really as mysterious as people... Like, there are a few now, right? Like, Hyper Light Drifter really does go out of its way to create, like, a mysterious environment where, like, there's very little text to localize. Rain World is another good one, where Rain World, I think, is what people like to imagine. It lives up to their imagination of the original Legend of Zelda and the original Metroid and other old games, you know? Mm-hmm. I had a larger point to make, but I'll make it next time.